Hi everyone, welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings, Amane's Route, episode 8, where Aoi is on some kind of date with Amane, except that Amane is not really good with understanding what going on dates is. And it kind of makes sense because Amane is this super genius and probably spent all her life doing research, studying, and coming up with that next great invention. And it kind of makes sense why Iska would call Amane an idiot. It's like, well, Amane, she's all practical, everything has to have an answer, and she only does things that are possible to do. Whereas Iska's like, well, even if it's impossible, I am still willing to try it. And she has all those elements, knowledge, and ideas that Amane doesn't have. And that's why it kind of makes sense that Amane's like, well, Iska has been the person who's bled color into my world. So anyways, let's see how this date goes and what other stories we'll get from Iska. So they found this capsule in the dining hall under a broken plank of wood, and it had a letter and some treasures that Amane had in the past. So the glasses case and a panda stuffed animal. Okay, so she comes back.
どうした？
I look away because Amane in a bathing suit under the white summer sun was too hot for me. Ooh, she has a good shape. Well, I'm sure I always saw Amane in her swimsuit 1 year ago when they went out together. So with Katori and Ageha.
葵くんは着替えないのか？
So what about you? I will. I was already wearing my bathing suit under my clothes, so I just took it off and there you go. So let's go swim.
あ
So we ran like kids into the water.
あ、冷たくて気持ちいいな。
So it feels good in here. Hey! So Maya was playing in the shallow waters. She was surprised that she was splashed with water.
やったな。それそれ。
Alright, I'm getting back at you. She splashes me too. Hey,
それそれ。
So we splashed each other for a while. And I've seen couples play in the water in movies, but I never thought people actually do it. Well, I guess there are people like that. And it looks boring, but it's actually fun. So... Aha, yeah, your face looks hilarious.
やったな。
So he tries to get revenge on me, but I run away.
あ、待て葵くん。
Nobody's waiting for you. I made fun of her, and then she chased me. So they started chasing one another in the shallow waters. Okay, here I am, so try to get me.
待て。
So I made her chase me.
捕まえた。
So she opened her arms and tried to hug me. And Amaya leaps at me. And she misses. So I dodged her, so she fell into the water face first. And I hope she didn't get hurt.
ひどいぞ葵くん。
You're mean, Aoi-kun. Ha ha ha. Well, you're slow.
いいんだいいんだ。どうせ私はどんくさいんだ。
And it looked more like she was walking through the water, and that's why she's slow. She sulked cutely, so I helped her stand up.
好きありだ。
And by helping her up, Amane had a chance to go right after Aoi. So he tackled me and we fell down in the water together. Phew!
頭脳プレイというやつだな。
So by acting all cutesy, all hurt, that'll lure you in. Well, I can't beat you in a contest of the mind. Yes, playing in the water. I was very happy to play like kids with Amane.
な、今度はあれがしたい。
Okay, so what's next? So you point at the big rock. Oh, that? So the little ceremony where you have to leap off from the rock.
またやってくれないか？
So you looked at me expectantly. Well, it's only me. So there's no Kotori or Ageha. It's very hard for me to carry her and dump her into the water. But I can't say I can't do that. The way she looks with that sparkling joy in her eyes. Okay, I'll do it then. Saying so? So I think he was able to lift up Amane. So I picked her up and stand. So I carried her to the big rock. And then I climbed up the jump slope on top of the rock. So hang on, tight.
おう。
Okay. So ready? Go. So holding her, I jumped into the water. So we jumped holding onto each other and water splashed all over. So bubbles are coming up, or bubbles. And from under the water, the sky is mystical and beautiful. And I wonder what Amane sees underneath the water. Maybe a nice little world, like Adventure of a Lifetime? Okay, there's a drink for you. So now time for refreshments.
ありがとう。
So we were sunbathing because we played a lot and got tired.
太陽が気持ちいいな。
So you usually don't get much sunlight. So she is in her room or the garage a lot. She shuts the curtains in the room and it's unhealthy. So you should think about your health more.
うん、わかった。
I understand. So the way she nods makes me look like a child even though she's older.
たまにはこうして外へ出るべきだな。去年ここへ来た時もすごく楽しかった。
So we all came here together last time.
なんだか遠い昔みたいだ。
So haven't you been swimming with Iska?
しなかったな。多分イスカの体質のせいだと思う。
Okay.
あの子は昼間運動しすぎると夜熱を出すことがあると言っていた。
So her body is weak, huh? So Anchan said so too. So what did you do usually?
野良猫を捕まえて撫でたり、近所の犬をからかったり、ザリガニ釣りをしたり。
Okay. Well, I don't know why, but I feel deja vu. It's like, oh, okay, so that's what you usually do. Chase and discover items. So it is the same as Kotori wanting to-do list.
あれはあれで楽しかった。イスカと遊んでいると予想外の出来事ばかり起こる。この世界の本質はカオスで、我々の知恵や知識の及ぶ範囲などごく限られているのだと思い知らされる。
If or ha. So she talks magnificently about catching crayfish and teasing dogs. I lie down on the beach and feel the sunlight. And when I lie down like this, I let my mind go blank, and I feel like nothing matters. So why is Amane a little bit upset? Huh? She is staring at me. So wait, for what?
いや、私たちはデートをしているんだなと、しみじみ思ってしまったんだ。
I'm sure Aoi knows that at this point.
何か変なこと言ったか?
So, anything wrong? No, it's not like that. Well, I'm just happy and you made me smile.
私は思ったことを素直に言ったんだぞ。
She says with her lips pursed, all pouty like. Well, I didn't make fun of you. I'm happy because now you know we are dating.
そういうことなら、それはもう体中で実感してるぞ。
Well, me too.
二人きりのデートなんだな。
So last year, Kotori and Ageha were here too.
ハットを忘れてはかわいそうだぞ。
And hat. Oh, yeah. So at that time, everybody just played and had fun. But it's different today. So I love you. So if I remember last year, it was because it was hot and the winch was broken and they had nothing to do. So I was like, well, I want to find a place to cool down and be refreshed. And the answer is here.
私もだぞ。
So she replies instantly. And after that, she put her hands up to the sky and breathed deeply.
私は葵くんが好きだ！大好きだ！
She shouted loudly to the sun.
さあ、次は葵くんの番だぞ。
So now you have to say it too. Wait, what?
恋人同士なら夕日に向かって愛を叫ぶものだ。まだ夕方ではないが、太陽に叫ぶなら同じことだろう。
So I wonder what movie is this? She said with her eyes shining.
叫んではくれないのか?
So is it bad? So she begs me like this, I can't say no. So I look up at the sky and breathe deeply. So I love Amane!
ありがとう、葵くん!
Wow?
葵くん!
So she rubbed her cheek on me and kissed me, letting on me and saying my name. And then we lie down on the beach.
もう好きすぎてしょうがないんだ。このままずっとこうしていたいぞ。
So I want to stay like this too.
じゃあしばらくこのままくっついている。
She said, satisfied, and edged closer to me. After a few seconds in the sound of the white waves, I could hear the way she breathes when she sleeps.
ただいま。
Okay, so they had their time at the lakeside.
おかえり。バカ。どうでしたか?
So how was it?
デートっていいな。楽しいし、それに刺激的だ。
It was good, says Amane.
へえ、刺激的ね。
Wait, what are you looking at me like that?
いえいえ、プライベートを詮索するほど私は野暮じゃございませんことよ。
So she grins at me.
ま、うまくいったようで何よりだよ、葵くん。それよりお腹すいた。
Now I'm hungry, so make something.
私もだ。いっぱい体を動かしたから、もうお腹ペコペコだ。
Well, same here for Amane.
わあわあ。
And for Duck or Hat too. Alright, so I'll heat some curry.
はーい、カレーだ。一 一晩置いたからより美味しくなってるんだぞ。
So Kanako, did you make rice?
おお、バッチリだよ。
Yes.
カレーカレー。クワックワッ。
So even Hat is excited about curry. So I'm relieved to come back to the dorm. And I like evening dates or exciting dates, but I also like ordinary days eating good food together. Curry. So after all, it's fun to do anything if I'm with Amane. Okay, so if I remember from the Japanese version, the reason why Kanako was grinning was because the date with Amane, there was actually an H scene that happens during the date, and I think when they return from the lakeside, Kanako can detect that Aoi did something interesting with Amane, and she could sense his emotions. So anyways, we're back in this memory, and let's see what other memory we're going to see with Iska and Amane. So after Iska and the Soaring Club were revived, the days and months of the year flew by. And the summer of the year, Iska and I became fourth year students.
ほら、ここだよ。うっすらひびが入ってる。もう、また作り直しだよ。これだけ大きいものを作るとなると、普通は起こらないような問題も発生してくるな。達也は何て言ってるんだ？型の作り方から考え直した方がいいって。発泡スチロールなら安いし加工しやすいんじゃないかって言ってた。なるほど。どうしてうまくいかないんだろう。早く飛ばないといけないのに。どうしてだ？我々はまだ4年生だ。時間ならあるぞ。
It's like, well, we're only fourth years. We still have time, and we have fifth year.
そうだけど。もう少ししたら夏休みだし、そしたら朝からやるよ。それは構わないのだが、私は手伝えないかもしれない。なんで？父の命令でな。大学へ行かないなら、せめて夏休みの間だけでも勉強してこいと、アメリカへ行くことになりそうなんだ。
Okay.
あっちの大学にある研究室に父の友人がいて、そこで手伝いでもしてこいと。私は嫌だと言ったんだが、大学編入を拒んだ手前、無下にもできなくてな。
It's like, well, I still have to make my father happy, so if I'm not going to college, then I have to do something that is worth my, or like my talent. So using my talent for something productive.
そうなんだ。アメリカの研究施設を見た私が刺激を受けて、留学したがるに違いないと父は目論んでいるらしい。
And it's kind of like going to college, but not really.
父は私に似てバカでな。浅はかなんだ。
It's like, well, my dad is also a genius, and he sometimes doesn't really see much outside of research and inventions and.
あまね、アメリカ行っちゃうの？夏休みの間だけだ。何、すぐ帰ってくる。
It's like, well, it'll be for a short while.
そうなんだ。へえ、やっぱすごいね、アマネは。いいっすか？そっかそっか。いいじゃない、留学。アマネには日本じゃ狭すぎるってね。だから留学などしないと言ってるじゃないか。父を納得させたらなるべく早く帰ってくるよ。
It's like, well, I can come back at some point, so I'm not gonna be there for a long time.
さ、その発泡スチロールで型を作るやり方を調べてみよう。達也が言うなら間違いないだろう。
So 1 year after the reinstatement of the Soaring Club, after that disastrous first test flight, the glider was not flown again. So we amateurs needed to start thinking first of the tried and true methods. But even still, I had fun. So it's refreshing to learn and make new discoveries from continued mistakes. But more than anything, it was exciting to make something with Tatsuya and Isuka. So progress was definitely slow, but we were making progress. But something was different about Isuka.
何が何でもこの子を夏休み中に飛ばす。
But we're gonna fly no matter what.
そうしないといけないんだ。
So why was she in such a hurry? So why do we have to fly right away? So I did not notice.
もしもし葵、聞こえる？
Okay, so now they're doing test flights. So I mean Aoi and maybe Kotori. Loud and clear.
どんな感じ？
So it looks good. The other day we were adjusting the rudders, and it's working out well.
小鳥、どう？楽しんでる？
So what about you, Kotori?
もちろんよ。空から眺める春日浦の街並みは綺麗ね。
So we're going to fly a little more, and if we can't catch a thermal, we'll just come back.
了解。気をつけてね。
So Obon vacation having finished late, Kotori, who had gone home to see her family, had come back to Kazugura. And we held another test flight immediately.
葵くん、操縦上手くなったんじゃない？
Maybe the design is better, so it handles more smoothly.
休み前に乗せてもらった時よりずっとスムーズよ。乗り心地がいい。
Well, I've come to long for this glider. So there's no doubt that I'm performing better, but it's more difficult than it was before. So while adjusting for that now, I'm getting more experience under my belt. So we just can't find a good thermal draft. So it seems like the air currents have calmed down.
もっと高く上がりたいのに。
Well, circle around one more time and then head back to the runway.
わかった。
Okay.
望月め、理事会に気に入られてるからって好き勝手やりよって。
So what's going on with Tobioka-sensei? So why is he here?
あのことを忘れたのか、あいつ。やはりあの時、あれを渡さなかった俺の判断は間違っていなかった。もしは、
Hold on, I'm going a little fast with Tobioka-sensei. Let's see.
やはりあの時、あれを渡さなかった俺の判断は間違っていなかった。もし渡していたら今頃。
And he sees the glider.
あいつらめ。
お疲れ。
So once on the ground, we open the canopy and feel a cool breeze blow.
あじー。水。
So water?
はいよ。よく冷えたお水だよ。ありがとうアゲハ。愛してる。葵くんも。
Oh, thanks. So flying in this season really is rough.
先輩、タオルどうぞ。
So Asa and Yoru brought us towels. So I take the towel and wipe my face, and then I hold on to Amane's hand while I climb out of the cockpit.
どうだった上は？
So how was it? It was no good. So the currents are too calm and we can't find a draft to ride.
そっか。今日は機体の調整に集中した方が良さそうだね。
So we just about to start training for the first real flight. And flying up to an altitude of 2 kilometers where the morning glory happens with a winch tow is no easy feat.
ねえ、次誰が乗る？はいはいはい。私は姉さんの後でいいわ。
So Asa next and then you're after.
了解。じゃあ私はウィンチ担当ね。
So when I fly, someone comes along for the ride. So that's a good part about the multi-seat model. So putting me, the pilot, aside, the flights have been very rewarding for everyone involved with the maintenance and manufacture.
じゃあ少し休憩したらまた上がってくれる？
Yeah, so sounds good.
お前たち
Except for the fact that someone else is here. Huh?
ゲゲ。
Uh-oh.
なんかややこしいのが来た。
Tobioka-sensei comes striding across the runway. And having just made a disgust, Kotori straightened out her expression and prepared herself to take the brunt of what was coming as the club leader.
何かご用ですか、飛岡先生？
誰に許可を取ってここを使っている？
ちゃんと持ち主に許可もらってますけど。
そんなはずはない。先日うちの生徒に滑走路を使わせないよう要請しておいたはずだ。
So, did the owners ever get the notification? Because I'm sure that the Soaring Club didn't get it.
はあ？何それ？小鳥先輩、血が出てます。敬語。
とにかくすぐに撤収しろ。
So we all look at one another.
じゃあ確認してからで。
So we'll check with the owners to see if they were notified.
この俺がダメだと言っているんだ。
Well, his words don't count.
飛岡先生。
So having watched from behind, Amane step forward timidly.
一応私が顧問ということになっているので、何かあるなら私に言っていただきたいのですが。
何が顧問だ？
Wait, you're an advisor?
あんな形で学校に居残って迷惑をかけ続け、やっと卒業したと思ったら。
So Amane looks at Tobioka-sensei apologetically.
さっきまた飛んでいたようだが、誰が乗っていたんだ？
So who was on the glider? Me? I raise my hand and step forward. So I'm not guilty of anything, so I stand proudly.
一人か？
So, were you riding alone? No?
私も乗ってました。
Tobioka-sensei looks at Kotori and frowns.
望月、お前、ハバネの体のこと分かっているのか？
So, you let a wheelchair student ride the glider?
分かっていますが。
ならどうして？
So, why did you allow this?
ちょっと、私の体がなんだってのよ。
So, boiling with anger, Kotori snaps at Tobioka-sensei, but no one stops her. So rather, we help by glaring at Tobioka-sensei.
そうです。足が不自由でもグライダーの座席には座れます。一体何の問題が？
親御さんが心配するとは思わんのか？
So, hearing mention of her parents, Kotori falters. So certainly, they will worry. And that's why the remark is so terrible to make in front of Kotori. She felt it ever so slightly. So my first impulse was to come back at him, but on the verge of doing so, I shut my mouth. So how is Aoi going to respond to Tobioka-sensei? Because I could see in his expression that the Tobioka-sensei I thought was just insulting Kotori actually was worried about her. And because of that, I let the timing slip away from me, and in the end, I said nothing.
ミサギのこと忘れたとは言わさんぞ。お前のせいであいつはまた同じことを繰り返すつもりか。
Tobioka-sensei glared at the dumbfounded Amane.
とにかく今日は撤収しろ。いいな。
So saying only that, Tobioka-sensei strode away without waiting for a response.
あまねちゃん。いや、すまないみんな。私が顧問として不甲斐ないばっかりに。
So are you okay, Amane?
平気だ。悪いがみんな今日のところは撤収してくれ。滑走路の持ち主とこれから話をしてくるから。
So, okay, let's just end it here. Let me go confirm with them about the notice. So there wasn't anything we could do about it, so we cut today's flight short.
飛岡先生がそんなことを。
So Anchan and everyone from the Soaring Club, except for Amane, were gathered at the Flying Fish Manor during the dining hall.
なんであいつ私たちを目の敵にするのかしら。陰険っていうか、さすがにちょっとしつこすぎるよね。
So Anchan was in deep thought, listening to everyone talk.
もしかすると俺たちのせいかもしれない。
So maybe it was our fault. So what do you mean? So Anchan thought hard for a moment and then opened his mouth again.
俺の知っている飛岡先生は真面目で教育熱心で、どちらかというと公正な人だった。そりゃ暑苦しくて嫌われることもあったし、疲れるタイプじゃなかったが、少なくとも俺は嫌いじゃなかったな。
嘘。いやいや、それはさすがに。
特に自分が担任しているクラスの生徒には面倒見が良くて好かれていたぞ。
So as a teacher, he was a really good teacher. He took care of the students and really showed concern. So all of our faces, all at once, screw up with disbelief.
それが変わったのはあの事故からだ。
So the accident. So we knew about that alluded to immediately. So Asa and Yoru were unaware of the incident, so they were puzzled expressions.
いつかは当時飛岡先生が担任するクラスにいたんだ。気まぐれな野良猫みたいないつかに堅物の先生は手を焼いてるみたいだった。
So talking about those times, a smile grew across Anchan's face.
だからソアリング部の活動にも気を配っていた。いつかやあまねに尋ねても拉致が開かないから、よく俺のところに活動状況を聞きに来てたよ。
意外とマメな人なんですね。何言ってるのよ姉さん。嫌がらせもマメだったじゃない。そっか。どうしてそんなに気にしてたのかしら。
さあ、イスカが体が弱かったからだと思うけど、単に危なっかしいやつだったからかもしれない。そんなある日、心配していた出来事が起こった。あの事故だ。
So we nearly swallowed our tongues in anticipation. So it was serious, to be sure, but a glider accident could happen to us too. So what kind of accident was it?
俺も天音も事故があったことしか知らない。あの時天音はアメリカにいて、俺も風ヶ浦を離れていたんだ。俺たちがそれを知った時、イスカはすでに退学していて、ガレージには壊れた機体が残されていた。状況から見て無理なフライトをして落ちたのが原因らしかった。
Okay.
落ちた。
So it fell? So this was news to us, having just come back from today's test flight.
機体に原因があったんですか。
So what happened with the glider? Or what happened? Anchan nods.
主翼に亀裂が入っていたんだ。応急処置はしてあったようだが。
なんでイスカさんはアンちゃんも天音先輩もいないのに、そんな機体でフライトしようとしたの？
イスカと天音がソアリング部を復活させて1年。試行錯誤を重ねたものの、ろくな成果を上げられずにいた。いつまでも飛べないでいることに、イスカは焦っていたんだろうと思う。先生らからのプレッシャーもあったしな。
So what was the pressure? Pressure from teachers. So what kind of pressure? So Anchan nods gravely.
本来天音は慶風学園に来るような生徒じゃない。それがお父さんの縁故と通いやすさがあって慶風学園に入学してきた。天音にとってはどこでもよかったんだと思う。実際あいつは3年の時大学編入を拒んだ。その理由が勉強ならどこでもできるだからな。
It's like, well, Amane was not anticipated or not supposed to be a student at Keifu Academy because she's too good. She belongs in a more challenging environment. It's like a college. Anchan smiles wryly. So to Amane, it was a weak notion that one learns from teachers. So if there is something you want to know, you research it and experiment for yourself. She considers that common sense. And I heard she taught herself to draw the schematics for the improvements we're testing too. And they took a while to draw.
その天音がイスカのような不良生徒にそそのかされて何の成果も出ないグライダー制作をしている。天津さえ大学編入を拒んでまで。
なるほど。
So your nods, anticipating the next part.
望月天音という天才の輝かしい未来が台無しにされかねないってところかしら。
So it is Anchan's turn to nod. So Yori side apparently tired of the whole ordeal. So it could be that she too is made out to be a genius and is being pushed into a future that has nothing to do with what she wants. Okay, that makes sense.
ソアリング部、そしてイスカへの風当たりが強くなり、あいつは焦っていたみたいだった。早く成果を出さないとと。
その成果っていうのがテストフライトを成功させること。
But she failed. The price for daring an impossible flight with a damaged glider was too great. So the craft was half destroyed and Iska...
あの頃、ほとんどの先生が天音の将来を憂い、イスカを悪者にしようとしていた。
Well?
ただ一人、飛岡先生を除いて、な。飛岡先生は担任としてイスカをかばい、天音もイスカも同等に扱うよう働きかけていたんだ。
So everyone felt depressed. So about Iska too, but it was also that we had thought sarcastically for so long about how to end the tyranny of Tobioka-sensei. And now that we knew about a side of him we had never imagined, we had no idea what to think of him.
じゃあ飛岡はそれでソアリング部を天音ちゃんを恨んでるってこと？
So Anchan shakes his head and makes a face that says he doesn't know.
でもそれって逆恨みじゃん。天音先輩は悪くないよ。
俺もそう思うよ。それにその事情をさっぴいても飛岡先生が未だに固執してるのは不自然に感じる。
So today it seems like Tobioka-sensei was worried about Kotori. And whether this overlaps with Isuka or if, as a teacher, he simply cares about Kotori, who can't walk.
誰が悪いってわけじゃないのかもしれない。誰も悪くなくてもうまくいかないことだってある。
So since then you haven't seen Isuka.
ああ、そうだ。
So I glance at Asa and Yoru, and they nod and face Anchan's direction. So the reason we had Anchan come here today is not to hear about Tobioka-sensei.
ミサギイスカさんのことおじいちゃんにお願いして聞いてきました。
So Anchan's expression hardens with worry.
今どこにいるかはわかりませんけど事故で亡くなったとかじゃないそうです。もともと体が弱かったとかでもうずっとどこかの療養所にいるみたい。
療養所？
場所までは聞けませんでした。向こうは娘のことを詮索されるのを嫌がったみたいで連絡先も教えてもらえませんでした。
So we look at Anchan.
そうか。ちゃんと無事なんだな。
So it's hard to say that she's alright being in a care home and all, but at least she survived the accident. So there is some good news. So wearing a complex expression, Anchan mutters,
療養所。
So he thought deeply.
ごめんなさい。あまりお役に立てなくて。
いや、そんなことはないよ。すごく助かる。ありがとう、二人とも。
So it may not be much information, but for Anchan, this is the first news he's heard since the accident.
ところで、アマネのやつ遅いな。
So anyways, Amane is late. So where is she?
そういえば。
So everyone looks at me. So what? So after we aborted the tests and left the runway, she went to go talk to the owner. And after that, she just said, well, I have something to do, and went back to the garage.
あいつにも話したのか？
Yeah. So same as you, she had mixed feelings about it, but was relieved.
そうか。
ねえ葵、迎えに行った方がいいんじゃない？
Yeah, you're right. So outside, the sun had gone down and it was pitch black. So what is she doing this late at night? So I started to worry.
葵。
Anchan? So after me, Anchan had come outside. I guess he's gone home already. Or he's going home. So we sort of fell into step together.
今日はありがとうな、葵。
Well, I haven't really done anything, so if you want to thank someone, thank Asa and Yoru.
まあ、そうなんだけどな。けど、お前がつなげてくれた。イスカやアマネとも、他のみんなともな。お前がみんなをつなげてる。
Well, I suppose. Well, I don't think I had anything to do with it. Without me, everyone would still get along very well. And while I was thinking about that, Anchan laughed happily. So, wait, Anchan. So all of a sudden, he patted me forcefully on my head.
お前はそれでいい。
So you're just the same way you were in the past. Wait, what? So not understanding, I asked, but he just laughed and didn't explain anything.
俺はお前のようにできなかった。イスカがいなくなった後、アマネはひどい状態だった。誰とも接することなく、無表情にガレージにこもり続ける毎日。けど俺は何もしてやれなかった。自分のことで手一杯だったから。
So because you loved Iska, right?
ああ、お前らにあんちゃんって呼ばれて大人ぶってたけど、まだガキだったんだな、俺も。
But you know, I'm kind of like all of you, so even though I'm older, I still have characteristics that equal yours. So I'm like a kid.
いなくなったイスカより目の前にいる親友に手を貸すべきだった。今のあいつを見てるとあの頃のことが嘘みたいだ。だから余計に不安になる。また何かの拍子にあんな風になっちまうんじゃないかって。
Anchan?
ま、大丈夫か。今は葵がいるもんな。
But it should be okay. So he put his arm around my shoulder and gave me a hug.
お前は俺の誇りだよ。葵みたいな弟がいてよかった。
But, well, I haven't really done anything. So embarrassed, I stumbled over my own words. So it made me happy to be praised, but that didn't make me nearly as happy as being called brother. So it's not just me, you know. So Kotori, Ageka, Asa, and Yoru, and, well, you.
ああ、そうだったな。
So before we knew it, we came to the paths that split the way between the school and Anchan's place.
じゃあな、葵。いろいろありがとうな。
Well, no, thank you. So see you. So Anchan, good night. So Anchan headed home, waving goodbye to me. So it's good, though, if I can be even a little helpful to him. I said quietly, watching him walk away. So I think he's going to go to the garage to look for Amane. So, the sun having gone down, the school was deep in pitch darkness. So I can't see the light of the hallway's emergency exit signs on the other side of the windows. And I wonder if Amane is still in there. So I tried calling her cell phone, but she didn't answer. And actually, a ringtone came from her room on the second floor, so she must have left it there and gone outside. So what the hell is the point of having a cell phone then? So if you're not going to use it, just leave it in your room, then it's pointless. So complaining, I thought of Amane alone and holed up in the garage. And avoiding Anchan. So I just can't imagine her like this. No, I just don't want to. So she said that when she was little, the world looked gray to her. And she said that she was raised without really feeling any joy. So it probably follows that Amane, being a genius, couldn't emphasize with the thoughts of the more average children around her. And it must have been hard for those other children to empathize with her too. So for a long time, that's just how things were. She just didn't get along with other children. And the one who changed that is Iska. So Isuka actively tried to empathize with Amane. So they understood each other and tried to close the distance between themselves, and that's what friendship is about. So Isuka may have been Amane's first true friend, and the first friend to call her dumb, and the first to look into her eyes. So she lost that friend suddenly, and never heard why. So that must have been very hard for Amane. And it's so unsettling to think about it that I just can't calm myself. So right now, she's probably in the garage. So Amane? I passed through the courtyard and hurried around the schoolhouse to the garage in the back. Okay, so just as I expected, the light was on in the garage. So Amane is in there. So when I looked inside, Amane was doing something with the computer, staring at the screen. And the intensity of her concentration stopped me from calling out to her.
なるほどな。
So what's going on? So what is she looking at? Maybe she's working. And from time to time, I glimpse surprise and admiration on her face.
おお、
And then her voice rose with a soft yelp of admiration, and she drew closer to the screen. So she is peering right into the screen. And my urge to call her was subdued by my curiosity as I peeked at the screen from behind her. So there was a black and white image. Wait, so is she watching another movie? It's not like it's a problem for her to watch movies. But she is influenced easily, and I'm worried that she might say strange all of a sudden. So I'll call her anyways. So, Amane?
おお、いたのか、葵くん。
So just got here, so are you watching movies again?
そうなんだ。前に見そびれたものをまた借りてきたんだが。
Yes. Well, you don't have to study anymore, do you?
いや、また一つ、葵くんにしてほしいことが増えた。
Okay. Well, I have a bad feeling about this. So I'll listen anyways. So what do you want me to do? I don't think I can do anything at this point because there's nothing to do when Amai is watching some kind of movie on her screen.
火を飛び越えてくれ。
Wait, no? I knew it. It would have been something terrible. So it's fine if you want to copy someone showing off. But, so once again, it's just a movie. So I want us to have a normal relationship. So aren't you satisfied?
私はその普通を知らなかったから。
Well, that's right. But still,
私はただ葵くんと忘れられない思い出をたくさん作りたいだけなんだ。
well, I'm glad that you think like this.
おう、ならば火を飛び越えてくれるか。
Well, no.
いいじゃないか、ケチ。
Well, I'm not going in. I'm not going to. I stopped arguing and turned my back on her. And then I sat down. To show her that I was angry.
葵くん、
Uh-oh, I made him angry somehow.
葵くん、怒っているのか。
There you go. Well, don't talk to me. I came here because I was worried about her, but... So I was worried because of Anchan. It has nothing to do with her butt.
おーい、葵くん。
Come on, talk to me. And I look away.
葵くんが怒ってしまったぞ。どうしよう。
So she looks worried and flustered.
なあ、葵くん。なあってば。
Come on. So she looks into my face from behind. So looks away again. So Amane groans, completely confused.
どうしたら許してくれる？
So she looks miserable and sounds as if she might cry. So it would be wrong to punish her any more than this. So I glance at her. Well, if I can't sleep with my head on your lap, I answer, red-faced, and her face brightens right back up.
する。してあげるぞ、膝枕。
Okay. And then she tapped her lap joyfully. So, come over here. And once again, we get the same thing all over again. So I put my head on her lap. So I pretended to be angry, but secretly I was all warm and fuzzy inside. So my face must be red, I thought.
おお、葵くんの機嫌が治ってきたかもしれない。
She said, looking at me. Well, yes, I am. So I turned away on her lap.
あ、まだだった。
So she rubbed my head to make me feel better.
こうしてると実家の猫を思い出すな。母が飼ってるんだ。虎吉といって一家の中で2番目に偉い。
So who has that? Or who has the most?
もちろん母だ。
So then the cat. So how about the other family members?
私が3番目で父が最下位だ。
So who's number 2 then? So how did they decide on a standard?
虎吉は偉いから、もし膝に乗られたら虎吉が満足するまで動いてはいけない。それが我が家の絶対的ルールなのだ。
It sounds tiring.
すぐすねるからな、虎吉は。今の葵くんみたいに。でもそこが可愛いんだ。
So she smiles joyfully and strokes my head. So, okay, I'm like a cat. But if I can't cuddle onto her lap, it's not that bad. So cuddling kind of feels good. And I'm a dorm mother, and before I came back to Kazagura, I followed my dad around in the countryside and did housework. And my mother is strict, and I was not the type to be very affectionate. So I probably only act that way with Anshan. So if she spoils me like this, I want to stay this way forever. So Amane. Okay, so he rolls around. And I roll over on her lap.
どうしたんだ、葵くん。
Well, I love you.
私も好きだぞ、葵くん。
And I want you to kiss me.
いいぞ。
She said and leaned over me. And it is a sweet kiss. So my face turns red because I am both happy and embarrassed.
よし、今度こそ機嫌が治ってきた。
So are you not angry anymore? So my angry feelings were subsiding.
私は許してもらえたのか、葵くん。
So do you feel sorry about it?
ああ、もう葵くんを困らせたりしないぞ。
Okay. Well, maybe I was the one who was being selfish. But if I don't punish her, she probably will do it again. Okay, so let's go home then.
少しだけ待ってくれ。今、仕事のデータをダウンロードしている最中なんだ。
So it should be done in 5 minutes. So I have nothing to do but just to sit on the chair. And I grabbed the picture of the morning glory from the disk. So when Iska looked at this, it made her want to fly a glider.
ああ、そうだ。ガレージに残されていたフライトログに挟まっていた。
Oh, okay. So the cloud in the photo is both magnificent and beautiful. And I can't understand why it made her feel that way. So Amane awkwardly watches me as I look at the picture. So what is it? So she hesitates to speak and looks down.
イスカたちとここで活動していた頃、その写真は今と同じように机の上にあった。けど、イスカがいなくなった後、写真立ての中から写真だけが消えていた。
So why? Well, that's right. So Kotori found the picture. She said she found it in Iska's flight log. And before that, this picture frame was here, empty, and that was before we joined the club. So that means she took it out on purpose. And I wonder what was the purpose and why. So I'm going to leave it to the next episode because I'm over an hour for this one. So we got some pretty big developments here. And it was quite surprising to learn that Amane was not supposed to be a student at the Flying Fish Manor. It's like, well, you're smart. You have a much better pathway to go forward to. And for some reason, Amane decided to join the Soaring Club and be a student at Keifu Academy, even though the lectures are probably too easy for Amane. But then again, Amane does have one problem. It's like, well, she has no color in her life. And it was Iska who provided it to Amane. And we also got to see a different side of Tobioka-sensei and kind of understand why he would have this grudge. And he thinks that the Soaring Club is responsible for all the troubles that it's caused to everyone, including Amane and Iska. And he thinks that's going to hurt Kotori too. So maybe we'll find out more about what fueled Tobioka's grudge, because Anchan's like, well, I've never seen Tobioka this angry before. So with that in mind, I'll see you in the next episode.